Hello students, welcome to the session of whole numbers. Today we are going to discuss natural numbers, whole numbers, predecessor and successor. Then we are going to discuss properties of whole numbers. First, what is natural number? Actually, counting numbers are called natural numbers. Easily you have to know counting numbers are called natural numbers. Okay. Natural numbers are denoted by the letter capital N. Okay. So N is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. The next one is whole numbers. The number 0 together with natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. forms the set of whole numbers. Actually, whole number is equal to 0 plus natural number, or 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. are called whole numbers. Okay. All natural numbers together with the number 0 form the set of whole numbers. Whole numbers are denoted by the letter W. So, W is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. Okay. The next one is predecessor and successor. What is predecessor? Predecessor of a natural number is 1 less than the number, and successor of a natural number is 1 more than the number. Okay, this is very simple concept. Actually, predecessor is 1 less than the number. Suppose we have to take the number 10. What is the predecessor of 10? That is 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. The next one is successor. What is successor? Actually, 1 more than the number. 1 more than the number. Again, you have to take the number 10. What is the successor of 10? 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. This is actually successor of the number 10. Okay. Properties of whole numbers. Here we are going to discuss closure property, commutative property, associative property, and distributive property. Closure property, first we have to prove for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. These are the main 4 mathematics operations. Okay. Now we are going to discuss closure property. For example, we have to take A and B are two whole numbers. Okay. If A and B are whole numbers. Suppose we have to add the two whole numbers, again we get a whole number only. So actually closure property is true in addition. For subtraction, you have to apply the same procedure here also. A minus B may or may not be a whole number, because sometimes we get the answer. Suppose we 3 minus 4 means the answer is minus 1. Minus 1 is not a whole number. So, closure property is not true in subtraction. In multiplication, it is true, because you have to multiply any two whole numbers. Again, you get a whole number only. So, multiplication is true under closure property. The last one is division. Actually, A by B also may or may not be a whole number. Now we are discussing with examples. The first one is addition. Actually, you have to take two whole numbers. One whole number is 2, another whole number is 3. What is the answer actually? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 5 is also a whole number. So, whole numbers are closed under addition. Whole numbers are closed under addition. Okay. Next one, subtraction. Actually, the same example we have to use here also. 2 minus 3. What is the answer actually? Minus 1. But minus 1 is not a whole number. So, A minus B may or may not be a whole number. So closure property is not true in subtraction. Again you have to take multiplication. For multiplication also you have to use any number. Suppose you have to take two number 2 into 3. What is the answer? 2 3 is a 6. 6 is also a whole number. So closure property is true in multiplication. Okay. So we have to write whole numbers or closed under multiplication. Next we have to apply the condition for division. Now we have to take any example. Suppose 8 by 3. A and B are two whole numbers. We apply A by B. What is the answer here? 8 by 3 is not a whole number. Okay. We get some decimal number. No, this is not a whole number. So A divided by B may or may not be a whole number. It is possible for some time, not possible for some time. Okay. Actually closure property is true in addition and multiplication only. It is not true in subtraction and division. A and B are whole numbers. We have to apply for first addition. A plus B is equal to, we get some answer. That answer also a whole number. So whole numbers are closed under addition. The same procedure we have to apply in subtraction. In subtraction, we have to use A minus B. But that answer is not a whole number. So A minus B may or may not be a whole number. Next for multiplication. A into B. We get some answer. That answer also a whole number. So whole numbers are closed under multiplication. The next one is division. A by B. Actually, we divide one value using another one value. That value gives not a whole number. So A by B may or may not be a whole number. Next property, commutative property. For commutative property, we have to take A and B two values. But here we are going to use LHS condition and RHS condition. Okay. If A and B are two whole numbers, we are going to discuss in addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay. The first one, commutative property, we have to apply for addition. Actually A plus B is equal to B plus A. For example, you have to take 4 and 7. RHS, you just interchange the values. 7 plus 4. What is the answer? Actually 4 plus 7, 11. 7 plus 4 also 11. So commutative property is true in addition. Next one, subtraction. Here we have to take two whole numbers. A minus B is not equal to B minus A. Take the same example, 4 minus 3. Sorry, 4 minus 7. Again RHS, you apply the same condition, 7 minus 3. What is the answer? 4 minus 7, that is minus 3. What is the answer? 7 minus 3, that is 4. It is not equal, no. So commutative property is not true in subtraction. Okay. The next one, multiplication. Actually, A into B is equal to B into A. Take two whole numbers, 3 and 5. Okay. Apply the condition in RHS, but interchange the values. 3 5s are 15, 5 3s are also 15. So LHS condition is equal to RHS condition. So commutative property is true in multiplication. The next one, division. Take the same example, A divided by B is not equal to B divided by A. Suppose we have to divide 2 by 3. It is not equal to 3 by 2. Okay. So commutative property is not true in division. Commutative property means we have to take two values A and B. We have to apply the same condition in LHS and RHS. Commutative property is true in addition and multiplication. It is not true in subtraction and division. Okay. Not true in subtraction. Commutative property is true in multiplication. Next one, associative property. In associative property, we have to take three values. Okay. If A, B and C are three whole numbers. We have to prove the associative property in addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. The same procedure we have to follow because we are going to apply the condition in LHS and RHS. Okay. What is the first condition actually? A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. We have to take three values now. First we have to add the B and C value. Then we have to add with A. In RHS, interchange the value. First we have to add the A and B value. Then add with C value. Addition, we have to prove this condition. LHS value is equal to RHS condition. Use some values. 2, 3, 5. Okay. Interchange the values in RHS. 2 plus 3 plus 5. What is the answer? 3 plus 5, 8. 8 plus 2, 10. Here RHS 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 5, 10. LHS is equal to RHS. So associative property is true in addition, but it is not true in subtraction. How can we apply? A minus of B minus C is not equal to A minus B minus C. Okay. The next one, multiplication. A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. In multiplication, associative property is true. In division, it is not true. Okay. A by B by C is not equal to A by B by C. So what is the conclusion actually? Associative property is actually true in addition and multiplication only. It is not true in subtraction and division. Okay. So finally we have to write whole numbers are associative under addition and multiplication only. Okay. Here associative property we have to apply three values. First values A, B and C. These are three whole numbers. For addition we have to apply the condition A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Just interchange the values. For example, you have to take three values 2, 3, 5. 2 plus of 3 plus 5 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 5. So what is the value? 10 is equal to 10. LHS is equal to RHS. Actually associative property is true in addition, but it is not true in subtraction and division. How can we apply for multiplication? Take three values again. 2 of 3 into 5 is equal to 2 into 3 into 5. 3 5s are 15. 15 2s are 30. 2 3s are 6. 6 5s are 30. So associative property is true in multiplication. It is not true in division. So finally we have to write whole numbers are associative under addition and multiplication only. Next one is distributive property. If A, B and C are three whole numbers, then A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. Second one, A into B minus C is equal to A into B minus A into C. You just look at this condition. In distributive property, at a time we have to use two symbols. One fixed symbol is multiplication. One time we have to use addition symbol. Another time we have to use subtraction symbol. So A into B plus C means first we have to multiply the A value with B. Apply the plus symbol. Then we have to multiply the value A with C. So A into B plus A into C. Next A into B minus C. First multiply the A value with B. Apply the minus symbol. Then we have to multiply A with C. So we can distribute the multiplication over addition, and distributive property is satisfy multiplication over subtraction. Okay. Next one, identity. We are going to discuss the identity condition for addition and multiplication. Actually 0 has a special role in addition. Now we are going to add with any value with 0. What is the answer? 25 plus 0. Answer is 25. Suppose 0 plus 25. What is the answer? The same answer, 25. it is clear that 0 is added to any whole number or a whole number is added to 0, the sum is always equal to the same whole number. So 0 is called an identity for addition of whole numbers. Okay, 0 is an additive identity. Okay, next one in multiplication. Suppose we have to multiply with any value with 1, we get the same value. Suppose any value with 1 into 36, the answer is 36 only. So you observe that whole number is multiplied by 1 or 1 is multiplied by a whole number, then the product is the whole number itself. So 1 is the multiplicative identity. Have you all understand this? Actually, for addition and multiplication, the identity is first for additive identity is 0. Multiplicative identity is 1. How can we take this value? Actually, we observe that 0 is called an additive identity of whole numbers. Suppose we have to add any number with 0, we get the same number. 0 with any number, again we get the same number. So 0 is an additive identity. Next one is the multiplicative identity. Actually, a whole number is multiplied by 1 or 1 is multiplied by a whole number, we get the same whole number only. So 1 is the multiplicative identity. Okay.